Before we begin, I want to note that this show is not a substitute for therapy or treatment of any kind. We are not licensed mental health professionals, and our only qualifications are our own experiences and opinions. If you do need professional help, there will be resources in the description below and also featured at the end of the show. Hey, that rhymes.
Heck yeah, it does.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Fine I'm Not Fine podcast. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Savannah.
You're probably wondering who Alyssa and Savannah are and why they're hosting this mental health podcast. So I guess we'll start off with who we are and any qualifications we have.
We have absolutely no qualifications.
Absolutely none.
But you should stick around anyway.
So, yeah. I'm Alyssa. I'm 32 years old and my pronouns are she, her. In terms of my education, I majored in social and behavioral science, and I got an associate's degree in 2018 for it.
That's way more than I have.
I'm currently being treated for bipolar 2 disorder. I have general anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and ADHD. I also go to therapy regularly. Shout out to Dr. Solomon for all the amazing support she provides me. Sa, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would absolutely love to. Hello, everybody, again. My name is Savannah. I'm Alyssa's cousin. I'm 23 years old, and my pronouns are also she, her. And like Alyssa, I also have general anxiety disorder. We're twinning. I have a smidgen of social anxiety and go through depression. And I've also been categorized as a highly sensitive person, which is an actual term used for people and not just a sensitive little puppy. I have something called sensory perception sensitivity. Like sounds make me really sensitive, or like if something's too bright, it can really affect my anxiety. So yeah, that's me. Al, why did you want to start this podcast in the first place?
Well, I like hearing the sound of my own voice. Like everyone, I have a lot of things to say, but mostly I like telling and sharing stories. I feel like we forget the importance of sharing things that we've been through.
Yes.
I feel like everyone has a story to tell, and the places we've been, the people we've met, the things we've learned, and how we're being inspired and influenced all drive these stories. The thing is, though, society has conditioned us to think that nobody really wants to hear our stories or experiences. For example, if I were to ask you, how are you? What would you say?
I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
See, this is where the idea for the podcast came from. I feel like we refuse to open up to others because we don't want to be accused of oversharing or make someone else uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So this podcast is basically a medium for myself and other people to admit maybe they're not fine and to maybe share some stories and experiences. Which brings me to ask, how are you really doing? Are you fine? Or are you not fine?
This is crazy. I've never said this in such a public way before, but I would say in this moment right now, I'm a pretty solid middle between like fine and not fine. I've definitely had more harder periods in my time of going through the stuff that I'm going through, but I'm also having a great time right now, so it feels pretty solid. But how about you? How are you doing?
I am doing well.
Really?
I'm thriving.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I am doing better than I have been in a long time. They just put me on lithium. I had this lingering depression that was really bogging me down. And I was kind of scared at first to be put on this medication because it's lithium.
Yeah. When you first told me, I was like, that's a chemical.
Yeah. It's in batteries.
It's in batteries.
Yeah. My mom freaked out, and it made me nervous too, because I'm just, well, that's a med for a crazy person. Nirvana made a song about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
There's definitely a stigma around it for sure.
It's working really well though.
That's great.
I'm doing great. This week was kind of a crazy week, but I've really been looking forward to recording this podcast with you.
Oh my god, same. Yeah. I think something that I have to do for my personal treatment, I have to give myself stuff to look forward to and dedicate time to doing stuff that I like. Because I don't know if this, applies to you that much, but I've had a really hard time growing out of the thought process of always shoulding myself. Like, I should be doing this with my free time. Like, I should be reading in my free time, like books that I haven't read yet, when I didn't want to do it in that moment. But something like this is something I've been looking forward to for ever since you asked me to talk on here. So this is definitely definitely one of those times where I'm treating myself every time that I actually want to do.
I wanted to say something silly about treating yourself, but then I decided it wasn't worth it. So
Wait, what was it?
something stupid. Something like treat yourself before you defeat yourself.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
No, that was golden.
It sounded better in my head.
I honestly think you should keep that.
Okay.
That was awesome. I know we're both in therapy. What is like the latest thing that you've learned that you found really helpful?
I have learned that I am too hard on people, especially my husband.
Really?
Yes. The last thing that I talked about in therapy was the fact that I just get really upset with things that he does.
Like agitated or like impatient?
I get impatient just because sometimes we just don't mesh well. I don't want to go too into it because I don't want to air out my dirty laundry about my relationship.
First episode.
Yeah, first episode. Just all out there hanging out.
It's therapeutic, yeah.
Yeah. I've learned that I need to take breaks and step away from things sometimes when I'm getting too upset. And that's been hard because, you know, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment and it's just like, where am I supposed to go?
We're going through a global panini right now.
Yeah.
Can't exactly like go many places at the moment.
Yeah. But we do have a pool like right next to our apartment, so, you know.
Yeah, and if we didn't mention it before, we are actually neighbors.
We are.
Live in the same complex, which is just very nice. We get to see each other and drop off like goodies.
When are you going to bring us some more bread? She's
like
my
banana
local
bread?
Banana bread dealer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's actually something that's been very helpful is like baking and doing little things going through this whole thing. Because I've actually noticed that I've been getting impatient with my partner too.
Yeah.
Like when I get anxious or when my SPS like acts up, because I'm very sensitive with sensory things. Like if I get hot and like very sweaty or just uncomfortable, I get more affected than someone who doesn't have something that I have. Before I even found out I had this personality trait thing, I didn't know why I was so anxious a lot of the time, but ever since then I've noticed like, oh, it's too loud here, so that's why I'm very like impatient, fidgety, anxious, or like it's so bright in here, that's why I can't focus. Like it affects people who have it more heavily. Just recently we were watching a movie and I got really impatient for some reason, like, oh, I don't want to talk right now, or oh, I just want to lay down, and I'm like, why am I feeling this way? I'm like, oh, it's because I'm really hot, I'm gonna turn the air on, and immediately I just felt so much better.
I can relate to that. I overheat very easily. I get really irritated when it's too hot, when it's too loud, when Jacob's playing like a video game and I can't relax. I flip out. No joke. I leave the room angrily and he's just like, what did I do? It's just like, it's nothing you did.
It's all in here, man.
It's just me. I'm just crazy.
You are not. It's funny. My therapist is telling me that sort of trait is genetic. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that you also had. It's not a disorder. It's a part of who you are.
Right.
Like you just perceive things more deeply. I wouldn't be surprised if that's something we share.
I think I actually saw something on TikTok about that.
Good, reliable source. Actually, I know that we're joking around with how much TikTok is reliable, but I used to think that app was so dumb last year before this whole crazy world happened in front of our eyes. I thought, oh, that app is so dumb, I'll never. Actually, made my days a lot better, as funny as it sounds. Like just scrolling, and there are people on there that will give you little bits of like inspiration or little bits of sunshine, and it's actually made me happier in like a very on the surface sense.
I've gotten into this horrible ritual of like right before going to bed, I just like scroll.
Oh my gosh.
And I just watch videos and I like send them to people.
Same.
So I actually met someone I was telling you like earlier about how I've been trying to make an effort to meet new people. And I found someone on Bumble talking about in their profile, like, I just watched TikToks about Harry Potter. So I reached out to them and I told them I would love to send you endless videos.
Oh my God.
Because that's what end of TikTok I'm on. I'm on like Harry Potter. Somehow I got on D&D. I think that's because of Jacob, but like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Harry Potter, I know one of my friends really finds big comfort in Chamber of Secrets. Like that's her comfort movie and she'll put it on the background. So that made me want to ask you, segue. Do you have a comfort movie? Like for when you're having like heavy days or a heavy period of time?
Absolutely. You know the movie. You do.
I know of several.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, but you know it's the movie.
Yes.
The one that I quote like every day practically. It's Bridesmaids with Kristen Wiig.
Has pockets.
It has pockets. You can spread your legs.
It's happening. It happened. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, that is a great movie.
Do you like to put it on the background or just sit there and watch it and zone out?
I actually watch it and I like quote every line.
Yes.
And I relate to the character because Annie, she's a hot mess.
Question. Which character from Bridesmaids are you?
I used to think that I was like Kristen Wiig because I've always been like that friend that's just a hot mess. But then I realized like I'm more of a Megan.
Oh my gosh. Why? You are funny, but why?
I am freaking hilarious.
Why do you really wait, like why Megan?
I think it's because she is true to herself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She's true to herself, and I've been trying to be like that. I'm trying to model my life after her attitude. You know that scene where she's trying to cheer up Annie, and she's like, life's biting you in the ass. I'm coming for you. And she's like biting her, and then she gets punched in the face.
Yes, yeah.
I want to be like that person. I want to be there for my friends like that. I want to be there for you, everyone.
You are. I think you are. I think the world sees me as what's her name? We're going to Disney World. What's her name in the movie? What's that character's name?
I don't know. I feel like I should know this. She's just one of those like background characters, but she has a big role in the movie.
No, yeah, they all do. Yeah, I think the world sees me as shout out if you can name that character. But I think the world probably sees me as that character. We're going to Disney World. You look like Cinderella character. But internally, I feel like a Rita. Like I'm just over it most of the time. I just want to relax. But I come off as high-strung and cute and a little annoying like the other character does.
I feel so ashamed that I've watched that movie so many times and I can't remember what her name is.
Ellie Kemper, ladies and gentlemen, and all folks listening. Ellie Kemper's character is named Becca.
Oh, yes.
That's so forgettable.
From work.
She never says that.
This is my coworker, Becca.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think anyone's comfort movie really is telling, you know? Like, one, who they are, and also, like, what comforts them. Like, humor comforts you.
What is your comfort movie?
Oh my god, dude. I have, like, so many.
What's your top one?
My top one? Okay, let's see here. I have so many, but when I'm feeling like I need some grounding, like I just need to watch something, I can just watch it over and over again. I think it's Aquamarine.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
No?
No.
Do you know what it's about?
Is it the one with the mermaid?
Heck yeah, it is. Okay, well, I have multiple comfort movies, but that one is like definitely the first one I thought of. It's a vibe. It's Sarah Paxton plays...
Hey. I know her.
I know. We both
we
do.
both know her.
We don't know her.
We don't know her, but we...
Sorry, misleading. We don't know her, but we're connected in a way.
Her mom is a dentist.
We both do.
A great dentist, actually.
She's lovely. Shout out, Dr. Paxton.
Shout out.
But anyway, yes, the youthful Sarah Paxton plays a mermaid who meets JoJo and Emma Roberts, best friends on the beach, and... like Aquamarina is like set to be married when she goes home and her father wants her to get married, but she's trying to prove to her father that true love exists because in her ocean world, true love doesn't exist. So she's using the help of JoJo and Emma Roberts to show true love. So they try to set her up with this beach boy. And in the end, it's so comforting because their friendship is so pure and so sweet. They go on a shopping spree.
Oh.
They dress her up. They read magazines. It's so cute. And the whole ending, I'm so sorry, spoilers for Aquamarine 2004. But the ending is that the true love didn't lie with the beach boy. It was between the three of them. That was true love. The love that they had for each other, that friendship. And it worked. And the big old spell broke. It's lovely. It's awesome.
That's literal magic.
It's literal mermaid magic. I recommend you watch it.
I will have to look it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll give you my Prime password. What's the best piece of advice that you do on the daily that kind of like gets you through the day?
Shoot, there's so many things that I've learned in therapy that I apply to myself on the daily.
Bless therapy.
There's also things that I've been told that were like terrible things, but we'll get to that later.
It's a great episode. Yeah. Bad things you've heard from therapy.
Some good advice that I've learned is just to take care of myself. I know that I tend to want to take care of everybody else, and I don't, check on myself. I just kind of go with the motion sometimes. I know that we have to care about others, but, sometimes you got to be selfish.
You got to set a boundary.
Exactly.
That's definitely something I'm trying to do too. Like setting up boundaries for yourself. Like for myself, I feel very compelled to also take care of people. I think that's something that runs in our family, especially with like the women in our family. But I'm trying to do that too. Like not feel obligated to be something for someone else or to do something for someone else.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. Like giving time for yourself to do, like I said earlier, like doing the things you want to do. Or if you just want to do nothing, like that's beautiful, just to like lay there and not having to do a thing.
Man. I wish that I had like the ability to just relax.
Oh,
I just
same.
wish, but I have so much guilt sometimes about not doing what I should be doing or what I want to be doing. I want to read 1 million books. I want to craft. I have like so many crafty things that I want to do. I want to completely learn how to play ukulele instead of just one note and just down strums.
We're in the same page.
Yeah. They say all these things are good for your mental health, self-care and all that, but it's just like, I can't. I have such a hard time.
I think that's something that is super common. We have this perception of what is going to help, but unless you have like actual conversations about you specifically, like through therapy or through talking through friends, like what you specifically go through, it's like, yeah, you're just going to kind of go through the motions of, oh, this helps people generally, like exercising. But then you exercise a certain amount of time a week and you're miserable. Or like, oh, people say taking a bath really helps. But like, I hate baths. I have to say, for sure, therapy and like good friendships, talking about things that I like to do and learning about the things that I struggle with, definitely been a plus for treatment. There's specific things. Like not everybody likes sitting down, reading a book.
I picked up a book for the first time in like months.
Really? What was it?
So you want to start a podcast?
Really?
Yeah. Read it in like less than a day.
Wow. You must have been really into it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. When was the last time you actually set foot in a bookstore?
Oh my gosh. Don't even ask me the question because, oh my gosh. Okay. Shout out to one of my besties, Shadon. We go all the time.
Really?
Well, not every weekend, but every time we're together, guaranteed we will go to a Barnes & Noble. But the question should have been is, how often do I read? It's very different. I will spend money on books like crazy. Every time I go in there, I end up with like 5-6 books. And that's me restricting. Like, that's me putting limits on myself. But the last time that I finished a book was like 3-6 months ago. But I'm getting through one right now. I haven't picked it up in like a week. But yeah, I don't read often, but I buy often. What about you? When was the last time you actually stepped into a store?
I stepped into a store when I got the podcasting book. Nice. And I felt like I was in a movie, just like throw the doors open and just like, because you could smell the books.
I love it.
That book smell. It's great.
I've arrived.
Yeah. And you're just like skipping down like, I want you and you and you. I went straight to like the self-help because
Wait, sorry. I went straight to self-help. I went straight there. Have you heard the funny thing how when people step into a bookstore, they feel the need to poop like immediately?
Oh my God. Let me tell you.
What?
So we're gonna go in some crazy.
Oh, I'm so scared. Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
So Jacob and I took out my mother-in-law.
Yeah,
I love Yvonne. She's great. We went to Cece's, got some pancakes, and then I was like, "Hey, can we go to the bookstore?" So we went, and I really had to poop.
Oh my God!
Like I wanted to buy a self-love workbook or something. I haven't looked at it. I just read the podcasting book. Anyway, so I really had to poop. And then I'm asking Jacob, I'm just like, do you know if there's a bathroom here? And he's like, I don't know. I'm going to go upstairs. So then I'm like sweating. And I'm looking for this book that's supposed to be there. And I'm just like, I really got to go. So then I go to the bathroom and like, I don't know if you have this, but like, I have like anxiety poops.
Same. Wait, hold on. Like poops because you're anxious or you're too anxious to poop?
Both.
Okay, yes to both. Yes, for me, both.
Yes to both.
Yes,
So
to both,
I
exactly.
go in, and then it's just like an endless circus of people coming in and out. And I just got to poop.
No, I hate that. Oh my gosh. I don't know if have you been to Europe? This is off.
No,
It's not off topic. It's not off topic. It's not off topic.
Okay.
But I've been to Italy once, and the bathrooms there's no gap in the door. It's like completely ceiling to floor, wall to wall door.
Wow.
Like you have your own little booth. I feel like here it is so anxiety inducing to just take a crap. There are holes everywhere in the door, and sometimes the door doesn't lock, so you have to put like your foot up against the thing. I hate it. There is a word for like you need to poop when you get into a bookstore. I think it's some sort of, it's a word in another language. I'll look it up later that defines that feeling that you have to poop in a bookstore. I think people said because it's like a feeling of home. So like your poop feels comfortable enough to be released.
Home is where you poop. So I guess we can stop talking about poop now.
Unfortunately,
we can stop talking about the poop show.
That's not what we're called. No. Don't nickname us that.
Yeah, please don't. In therapy, sometimes we get homework. So I feel like it's only appropriate to give you guys some homework. It might be a little hard for some of you, but I think at the end of the day, it will be helpful in the long run. Simply just check in with your friends and don't accept fine as an answer.
And if someone asks you how you're doing, be honest with them. Be honest. Say how you actually are doing.
Tell them that you have to poop in a bookstore.
Only the real ones will accept that answer and actually help you find the bathroom.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Thank you for all our potty pals.
Yes. Thank you for everyone who's listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you through all of our potty talk.
It's a potty every day with Alyssa and Sap.
If you want to connect with us, you can find us on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and even TikTok at Fine, I'm Not Fine Pod.
And if you're currently experiencing a crisis, we suggest reaching out to someone you love, or you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255.
Or if texting is your thing, you can text HOME to 741-741 to talk to someone from the crisis text line. We hope that you genuinely have a fine day today. Make sure to drink your water and join us next time.